Hello, everyone. This is Daniel Smiley. Uh, I'm an electrical engineer in Ozen Engineering Company. We are an Ansys Eli channel partner, and today I'm going to talk about the Crosstalk and Zero Scan using SIWave, which is a great product of Ansys. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about how we verify the PCB first and show the workflow wizard, then show the impedance scan and Z0 scan result. Then I talk about the crosstalk, which are a frequency domain and time domain. We can do this type of project for you, or we can train you to use the software to take advantage of these great features. And please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any question. Uh, at the end of this presentation, I'll provide more information about our company. So the first step is verifying, and we use a wizard which is called SIWave Workflow Wizard. So as you can see here, I imported the ECAD file, and then after that I have this feature that I can click on them, and please notice that there are inclination mark here and all of them are gray at this point. So what I need to do is just go one by one, verify them, and go to the next step, and each one of them has lots of detail. I'm not going to talk about that here. I'm just talking about the big picture. So once I click on any of them, I need to verify those as well. And most of them is done by the software. So if there is an error, the software will help us to understand that. Another benefit is that there is some auto-identify feature with SIWave. For instance, here I showed the power and ground net classification. So once you go there and you say auto identify, it automatically recognizes the power and ground nets and other non-power and non-ground nets. And if there is any mistake, you just can click it and with these arrows move them up and down. Same thing applies for differential pairs as well. Uh, so these are a great feature that we can use in SIWave. So once we go through this wizard one by one, we will see a check mark, like a green check mark next to them. So each single of them, you see a green check mark, you'll go to the next one. It's same, you go to the next one, all the way to here. So once all of them is done, you can go to the differential ports and nets and identify them, as well as the single net, and also double check the power and the ground. So once this wizard is done and the nets are identified, we start doing the impedance scan. To do so, there is, when you go on the simulation tab, there is something called impedance scan, or Z0 scan. So once you click on that, you'll see different tabs here: single net, differential net, extended and extended differential. I don't have extended and extended differential nets in this example, but some PCBs have them, and that needs to be identified at the beginning. So I assume everything is identified. Then we click on this uh, impedance scan tab here, and then it will see the setting. Uh, Here I chose these three nets. So once you choose them, you need to adjust the nominal impedance and what's your warning threshold and what's your validation threshold. I set everything to 20 and 20 and 10, but if you want to set anything individually or change the number, you can change them here. You can change the percentage and click the update, and you can also change the nominal Z0 here. And please keep in mind, we use 1 gigahertz for this simulation. You always can change the number. So as you can see, this is a single net. Here we have differential net. It's the same. The only thing is we chose 100 ohms for differential nets here. So once this part is done, we click on launch, and then the results are shown here. So as you can see, there is a a window that's called result. Now we have impedance scan. You right click on it and say display trace impedance, and this pops up along with this selection. You can, if you have 6-7 layers, then you will have more options here. So we have top, int1, int2, and bottom here. I'm going to show more details in the next slide, but this is what you get. And if you want to know any specific trace, you can just hover your mouse over them and the value pop up. Right now it doesn't because it's just a screenshot, but if we are in the software, we can do that. And you can always change the legend here. As you can see, it varies between 15 ohm to 144 ohm. And then these are the part that are like on violation area. As I told you, there are different layers. Here I showed the top layer. Here is the two middle layers. As you can see, there are a few here. And then again, you can see the left, let me move my screen, left, sorry, I mean the bottom layer on this picture. So once we have that, it's more like a visual representative of the impedance. But if you want to have a report, we can click on the report, and then we'll see this report. It was a long one, so I cut part of it. So the red one are the violation. So here, if you can see, it says layer of violation. It's bottom. What layer we are? Is it top or what? Is there a violation? The answer is yes. If it's yellow, means we are in the warning. So violation, instead of yes, it's warning. And if everything is good, there is no. And it also have some more detail, like the target, the cross section type. Is it differential pair or a single one? And many other information are sorted here, but we can export this table in different formats such as Excel and text or tab space. So this is a very useful tool that it gives us the result for impedance of any PCB. We just need to identify the nets and make sure we are using right percentage as well as the right ohm for the target is 0. So this part is done. The next thing that I like to show today is the Crosstalk Scan. So in the software, there's a bottom Crosstalk Scan. There is an arrow next to it. Once you click on that, you have frequency domain and time domain. So once you do that, a big window will pop up, and then you have different threshold that you can set. So if you talk about the far end or fix, or the near end or next far field, you can adjust the values here. So for now, we put 0.1 for a warning, as you can see here, and 0.2 for violation here. And please make sure that you click the update, because otherwise it won't get updated. So once we update this, we will launch it, and you can see a new result will pop up. This is before launching, and this is after launching. Before launching, we just had the impedance scan and the SYZ analysis that we had from last video. By the way, we did a video on this part. Feel free to check that on our YouTube channel. So here we have the Crosstalk Scan. Another result pops up here, and you can right click on this, and it gives you different way of seeing the result. So for now, we chose a visualization mode, and you see the top layer here, which is for next, and the top layer here again for fix. So we're just showing the top layer, and keep in mind, this is the near field, and this is the far field. As you can see, the units are indicated here on the left-hand side. And we can see like blues are good, and these red, green one are okay. There are few spots that are red. If you zoom in, we'll see on these parts that we have connection, there are some red spots. Same as the zero scan, we can have the report as a table here, and as you can see here is violation or warning, and the green one is okay. So and then please keep in mind, this is for frequency domain. Crosstalk, as I showed you here, once you select it, you can go frequency domain or time domain. Right now we're doing the frequency domain. So this is the result for the frequency domain, and then we move to the time domain. So in the time domain, it's a little bit different. As you can see, we have a new one that says time domain. Before that, it just was cross scan. So this is added now to the result compared to here. So in the time domain, we need to define the type, driver and receiver, who is driver, who is receiver. So once we set that, we can launch it, and also we have rise time and voltage, and the impedance we keep it 50 ohm. You can change that if you like to, and depending on what you want, like single-ended, differential, or extended, you need to choose those. And once you do that, it'll come to disable, and then you launch it. And then here I just showed two of them for simplicity. So here we're looking at the far end and near end, and these are the values in voltage. If you like, you can choose more nets, and then you'll have much more names on the x-axis and y-axis, and it shows the values for each of them. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and found it useful. As I mentioned before, we are a light channel partner of Ansys. We do physics-based simulation to solve multidisciplinary engineering problems. We have expertise in finite element analysis, CFDs, and high frequency and low frequency electromagnetics. So if you like to use the software and have questions, please feel free to reach out at support@ozeninc.com, or if you have any project that and you like us to help you, please let us know. We do simulation in different areas, and we have been in the market for over a couple decades. Hope you have a great day and enjoyed the presentation.